Let's dig into all this election intrigue with the chairman of the Senate Republican Conference, Wyoming's John Barrasso. Senator, good evening.
Great to be with you, Mike. Thank you.
Let's play a clip from Vice President Pence in Georgia today.
I'll make you a promise. We're going to keep fighting until every legal vote is counted. We're going to keep fighting until every illegal vote is thrown out.
Senator, you know very well there's a huge difference in being the majority party in the Senate versus being in the minority. President Trump's clearly unhappy about the election, as are a lot of his supporters. Do you worry about that hurting Republican chances in those critical Senate runoffs?
Well, I think when we look at what's happening in Georgia, the American people all heard Chuck Schumer make his claim, first we take Georgia, then we change America. And that is scaring people all across the country because we know what that means. We know what this far left liberal agenda would bring to America. Raising taxes, the Green New Deal, where gasoline is $10 a gallon, a one-size-fits-all government-run health care plan, people coming after our guns, our Second Amendment rights, across the board. I mean, just think about it, Mike. Think about Bernie Sanders as the Secretary of Labor, or Elizabeth Warren as Secretary of Treasury, or AOC as the head of the EPA. That is what they want to do. And AOC even had a news conference today saying we're going to push President-elect, as she said, Biden further to the left. We cannot have this for America, Mike, and that's why it's so important to make sure that we hold the Senate in the majority by winning those 2 seats in Georgia in the special election on January 5th.
President Trump and his allies have filed more than 30 lawsuits since Election Day. Those on the Biden side are not happy at all about that. Take a listen.
To allege to the American public that what they know in their hearts is not true is somehow true, and that the election that occurred on November 3rd, by which their voices was heard, was somehow illegitimate. And that's a serious, serious act of a president to do.
So the Biden side arguing the moves by the Trump legal team are not legally significant. How do you respond?
Well, it's all going to come down to the law and the facts. I mean, we know that the president has every right to use all the appeals and the recounts and the legal measures that he is using. The election is a lot closer than many people thought. Pollsters all got it wrong. But the American people have a right to feel confidence in the election process. That means, as Vice President Pence said today, all legal ballots need to be counted. All illegal ballots cannot. But ultimately, if there is genuine proof and evidence of things that have happened that will change the outcome, then it's time to take a look at that evidence now.
To work on the vaccines, here's Joe Biden from this week.
Look, the only reason people question the vaccine now is because of Donald Trump. That's the reason why people are questioning the vaccine, because all the things he says and doesn't say, whether is it truthful, is it not truthful.
Senator, you're a medical doctor. What about these vaccines and the success of Operation Warp Speed?
It is a modern-day medical miracle, Operation Warp Speed. I held a briefing yesterday for all the members of the Senate with the 2 people, one in charge of distribution and the other in charge of research. And Mike, let me tell you, there's so much good news in terms of the fact they say 95% effectiveness. It is better than, because of the 75,000 Americans who volunteered in these studies. What we know is for those that got the vaccine, some got just a little ill, but none needed to be hospitalized, and not a single one of those who got the vaccine died of coronavirus. This is at a time when in our country, Mike, 2,000 Americans died today. 250,000 died of coronavirus during this pandemic. The good news is by next month, we're going to be able to vaccinate 20 million people, and 25 million more in January, and 25 million more in February, and have everyone that wants to be vaccinated by the middle of next summer. That will be accomplished. This is an American miracle. We ought to share this information, and it does seem like the Democrats have been rooting for failure. Joe Biden at one point said he didn't think it was real. Okay. Kamala Harris in the debate went against it. Nancy Pelosi, in her so-called HEROES Act, has more money for illegal immigrants than she does for coronavirus vaccine work.
Senator.
And the governor of New York, Governor Cuomo, has called it bad news because it's happened too soon. This is great news for America and great news for the world.
Senator Barrasso, we have to leave it there. Many thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, sir.
To you too, Mike.